Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT June 12th, 2019 review. This episode was actually a very good, solid show with not a lot of storyline development, simply because we have till SummerSlam weekend, which is 2 months from now, so we got plenty of time to build some really good storyline for the next NXT TakeOver event. Now, granted, we may have not gotten a shit ton of build up for the NXT takeover that's coming up in August. We did get some really good three solid matches out of this show. Now, granted, the one that I would like to talk about the most is the Undisputed Era facing Orny Lorcan and Danny Birch. Now, some people would say that is great. Danny Birch and Orny Lorcan got their victory and won the match, and blah, blah, blah. Why would you be upset with that, Bruce, about the Undisputed Era losing this matchup? Well, it's real simple. Adam Cole is actually the NXT World Champion who just recently won. He's on a victory. He's winning matches, and he's had matches where his group came down to the ring and tried to help him, and he managed to lose anyway with their help. So it kind of makes you feel like as if the whole Undisputed Era is the weak link and Adam Cole should be by himself, which leads you to question, is that what they're going for? For Adam Cole to move on to the main roster. With that being said, him moving to the main roster is probably the worst thing that could happen to him right now. Because without the Undisputed Era, there is no Adam Cole. Adam Cole is part of the Undisputed Era. Those four guys are the Undisputed Era. They are like Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. You can't separate those four. They are the measuring stick of what a faction should be like. And without the faction, Adam Cole is just regular Adam Cole. He doesn't have that extra oomph to his character. He doesn't have an amplified, larger-than-life type of gimmick. And that is the problem with having Adam Cole by himself. Now, with his group, he is actually like the NWO. And, I mean, that is going a stretch because the NWO is probably one of the greatest factions that ever lived outside of D-Generation X. And the Four Horsemen, may I add. Four Horsemen's definitely up there in top factions. But, with all that being said, this is by far the worst thing to happen. Even though, yeah, I'm happy for Danny Birch and Orny Lorcan, but I'm not happy that the Undisputed Era had to take a loss in such a horrible fashion. The guy from the Unforgotten Sons, Jason Riker, showed up out of fucking nowhere and caused the Undisputed Era to have a distraction and lose. Now, some people would say, oh, well, it was just a distraction. It doesn't hurt them in any way, shape, or form. I would say, yeah, that's true, but they've been on a losing streak. They need to start getting wins under their belt. Or this is definitely showing a sign that Adam Cole is going to separate himself from the Undisputed Era down the line. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Adam Cole in the main roster unless he is with the fucking Undisputed Era. And he's already mentioned that in one of his interviews. He was asked by I think it was a wrestling reporter, somebody that was interested that actually does reporting of professional wrestling in the world, and he went ahead and he said, I don't want to move to the main roster without my friends, with the Undisputed Era. Without them, I'm nothing. It was kind of what he mentioned. He said, without me, with them, without me, it's like we wouldn't make it. We are as one. We're one unit. And he doesn't want to move to the main roster without him. And he's probably going to move to the main roster anyway because that is what he's required to do. So, at the end of the day, this is just another sad story in another NXT creative idea by the WWE NXT creative team that's just going to get ultimately destroyed. No matter what Triple H wants to do, no matter what Triple H wants to make out of professional wrestling, he works for his old man, father-in-law, I should say, not his old man. It's not really his father, it's just his father-in-law. But he works for him. And as long as he works for him, he's Vince McMahon's bitch. Triple H will never, and I mean never, be able to get what he's putting on here on WWE television. As long as Vince McMahon is running this company. Because Vince McMahon don't care about wrestling. He don't even care about entertainment. He cares about him making fun of us as the fans. And if any of you are dumb enough to sit there and continue to watch this after you can clearly plainly see that this man is doing that, and you still continue to watch it live, giving him ratings, you're an idiot. Because he ain't going to change shit. Now, if you watch it on the network, you want to skip through things because you really love the wrestlers that are on TV, like Seth Rollins. Yes, I'll even throw Roman Reigns in there. Guys like fucking Ricochet, Cesaro, the New Day, if you're into the New Day, and other people like that. If you're interested in that, yes, I don't blame you for wanting to go watch it on the WWE Network. I have no reason to say that because I do the same thing too. But I will not sit through a full 3 hour of fucking WWE Monday Night Raw or 2 hours of SmackDown ever again. Unless this fucking company changes. And I know I'm going off topic. I should be talking about the NXT episode that happened tonight. But it's just, what happened here tonight is just a sign to me that tells me we have something to worry about. We have something to be concerned about with Adam Cole leaving the Undisputed Era for the main roster. Not by his decision, but by Vince McMahon and upper creative officials. And I gotta say one thing. That is a bunch of fucking horseshit to do that. He just won the fucking title, number one, and number two. He is nothing without Undisputed Era, and they're nothing without him. It's that simple. That's all I have to say more on that. So let's go into the very first match of the show. Io Shirai and Candice LeRae versus Marina Shafir and Jasmine Duke. This match actually ended in no contest in a very grueling back and forth action, may I add. This match was very decent though, but all women involved did a very good job. Candice LeRae had a very nice spot with a suicide dive. Remind me of her husband, Johnny Gargano. And it really was, it did a nice little, push for storyline-driven ideas leading to Io Shirai to possibly get another title opportunity for Shayna Baszler. They fought throughout the entire arena, which actually was taking place in Bel Air, Maryland. Wow. That's a first in a while. Them performing outside of the Full Sail University. But yeah, this match was back and forth. Shirai got a hot tag, did a 619 and a drop kick on Duke. Just kind of skipping over everything that happened before this. She sets Jasmine up with Shayna's elbow stomp and staring down the Queen of Spades. She hits it. That was a very nice little spot they did there with a little bit of intensity glare in each other's eyes, looking at one another from one side of the arena to the other, and just saying, hey, this is for you, fuck you, and doing it to Jasmine Duke. With the stomp on top of her elbow, which looked pretty nasty, actually. It looked legit, like she was looking like she was getting hurt. So Baszler pulls Duke from the ring to save her from the aerial assault. Excuse the noise in the background. That's just my roommate having a disagreement with a family member. don't mind me. Don't mind them. But anyway, so the ring, Baszler pulls Duke from the ring to save her from an aerial assault. So Oi moonsaults onto both of them on the floor. This was actually a very nice spot as well. Actually, really was impressed by Oi Shirai with this moonsault. Another moonsault that maybe, Charlotte Flair should look into. I mean, even though she really does a beautiful moonsault, she doesn't hit it correctly. So that's something that she really should look into, is getting that getting it spot on when she performs it. That's my only problem with Charlotte Flair's moonsault. So pretty much Candice LeRae does a suicide dive. The referee calls a bell on this one because of the constant outside brawling that occurred during this matchup. So we then had Kishida versus Drew Gulak in a submission match, which was a very entertaining matchup as well. A lot of good ground wrestling base performance here. Both men did very well in this match. The end of the match ended with showmanship. Both men going ahead, shaking hands, even though Drew Gulak was upset with the loss. He actually lost because of the hoverboard lock that Kushida performs. It's pretty much an inverted Kimura lock. Very solid matchup, very entertaining. Nothing much to say here. I mean, outside of the fact that it was just a good, solid matchup. And something I think would have worked very well on a TakeOver show pay-per-view event as well. So nothing bad there. We get an announcement of a steel cage match for Oi Shirai and Shayna Baszler for the women's title is happening in 2 weeks. Holy shit. I didn't know that they didn't mention anything about the women's championship match being on the line in a steel cage match. So that actually was a bit shocking for me, just to read that just now off of Cage Side Seats. So, hey, whatever. Then they show a fucking clip of Mansoor winning the Super Showdown Battle Royal in his home country. Whoop-de-doo, fucking do. Who cares, in his post-promo video. They announced that the Undisputed Era and the new NXT champion, Adam Cole, will be there on NXT next week to do the celebration of Adam Cole becoming the NXT World Champion, which I thought they were going to do tonight, but they didn't. And then the main event was Ornery Lorcan versus Danny Birch, defeating the Undisputed Era. And which, I may add, it was a good match. Very solid, entertaining. A lot of good, entertaining stuff occurred during this matchup. I have no complaints whatsoever on this, whatsoever. So, outside of the ending, I think that would have been a better deal if Undisputed Era won. I mean, Danny Birch and Ornery Lorcan are not going to become World Tag Team Champions anytime soon. Anyway, highly doubt they're going to take the titles off the Street Profits so soon. I think the Street Profits are going to have a run with the tag titles for a while. Probably by the end of this year, maybe the beginning of 2020. I think in January during the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, they might actually get the titles off of them. I think that's the best time to do that. But this matchup here, like I said, very solid match. Reminds me a little shades of what they did at an NXT TakeOver event last year, which was very, very amazing. This match did show shades of that as well, but it was not anywhere close to their NXT TakeOver event matchup that they had. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing much to the show. It was just a solid, entertaining wrestling catch cam event that really brought a little bit of entertainment to our lives for an hour. And not to mention a little bit of storyline build-up with Oi Shirai and Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, which now is being announced 2 weeks from now, a Steel Cage NXT Women's World Title match. So, I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. That's about all I have to say at this time. So hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed to this channel. And leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.